I'm Alex and this is Justin, and we've taken time out of our working lives in Sydney to travel to some of Australia's most remote and beautiful places in our modified four-wheel drive, and we're filming our adventure along the way. Hi guys, it's Alex from a.j.overlanding here, and this week we're just doing a review of our Bush Company Black Series Max tent. Now I'm coming to you from a rest stop in the Pilbara, so there might be a few road trains that come past, but hopefully not. So we've had this tent on the car now for about a year. We upgraded from the King's foldy tent after about a month of our big lap because we just got so over climbing on the roof, and although it's still quite quick, these tents are much quicker. So we did some research and we looked into getting a clamshell tent of some sort, and we've ended up with the Max, and that is because of its versatility, which we will come on to later. We are not sponsored, we paid full price for this tent, but we just like to give an honest review because we use YouTube reviews all the time if we're choosing our products. I do have a cheat sheet and all the specs on my phone just to make sure that I don't miss anything out, so if I'm looking at my bit of paper, that is why. Just to be completely honest, this is tent number 3, unfortunately. We did have some issues with some cracking on the back left hand corner, which we believe is due to how the awning was originally mounted. Bush Company were amazing. They did all the original mounting back in Queensland last March, but they arranged for a warranty tent to be sent to Adelaide and then another one to Perth. We've changed how it's installed on the car now, and we've had no issues. But we've had no other issues with the tent. These things happen, and the way the Bush Company dealt with it was absolutely amazing. So thank you very much. Moving on to the actual tent. So as you can see, it is quite a big tent. It's quite tall, and that is because it is a Max, the Bush Company Max. But it has got a fully welded aluminium top and bottom, and a really nice powder coating around the outside. So it looks really neat. It is heavy, and it probably is much better suited to a ute or a trailer, and we are planning on putting this on a ute once we have completed our big lap. It's got 6 clips or buckles. A normal clamshell tent will just have 2, these front 2, but because this is the Max, it has 6. But it is still super easy to set up, so I will show you that now. The first thing we do is not actually this, but I'll just undo all the clips. So there's 6 of these. We have had an issue on this particular tent because they changed the clips slightly, that it came undone as we moved. So we just put a carabiner through the hole here, which stops it from being able to open and not be shaken loose when you're on corrugated roads. It slows down setup time a little bit, but it's actually quite useful having the holes, and you could easily put a padlock or something in there in case you wanted the tent to be opened. That's the front 2. I'll open the back ones now, and then I'll show you why in a minute. So there's 2 on the side, on each side. We had the carabiners on the front as well, although we've not had that pop up. And that's all the clips. We find it easy to just use the back of the car, but in theory you could use the ladder to get up here and do this. Got these 2 handles, push it up, got an elastic strap that is used to tuck in the canvas when you're packing it away. So you lift that up, out the way, and the gas struts will do the rest. One of the reasons we chose this particular clamshell tent over some of the others on the market is the size of the rainfly. As you can see, it goes all the way round. It's not just at the front like some of the others on the market. Comes with these spring steel poles. I'll come back around and show you outside in a second. There's essentially some holes in the bottom. Put the pole in, grab it and put it through the eyelet. I initially thought that they would be too strong for me, but actually it's absolutely fine. I'm getting dust everywhere, even with my weak arms. So as you can see, this rain fly has a huge amount of coverage, so you can have the windows half down even if it's raining, to get airflow and you won't get wet. We do find it can be a bit flappy if it's windy though, so we created our own anti-flap. We basically went to, I think it was either Bunnings or BCF, and got kind of a canvas clip, which we just clipped onto the canvas here, a bit of rope, another carabiner, and we just attach it to the back ladder mount, which we don't use, and that just stops it from being able to move too much. Pretty sure their new Alpha tent, which has got a way bigger rain fly, includes some tie down points, so we're just essentially replicating that. That's basically it, done, extremely quick. I'll take you around to see the ladder and then we'll get in. So the ladder, and apologies, we've chosen the worst time of day to shoot this, so the light's pretty tough for the camera, but it comes with a telescopic ladder in this neat little canvas bag, and that can either go on the back or the right or the left hand side. They've got these checker plates and clips on each of those. We have to use the right hand side because we've got an awning on the left, and because it's a 270 that comes all the way round, but also because of our setup with our spare tyre, you can't actually fit the ladder on the back, but if we need to we can just climb up the wheel and get in that way if we need to. The ladder can be stored in the tent, but because of the weight, I think it's about 8 kilos, but you have to check the specs. We just keep it in the back door here. It also means that you can get up without having to try and get your ladder, without having a ladder to get the ladder. Really easy. I do a couple of runs first. You pull that clip out, put it on, and then let it release out to about the right width. That one was really smooth. We have noticed if it's really wet or really muddy, they can get a bit sticky. This was a new ladder when we got the new tent about a month ago, and it's absolutely fine. The old one was fine, it was more when you're putting it away, you've got to hit it a little bit. But yeah, ladder, easy. I'll show you what's inside. So welcome to my home, and where we spend every night at the moment. So inside the tent, before I show you the amazing max part of it, I'm just going to talk through the pockets that exist on here. So it comes with these quite cool, unique storage. It's just Velcro, so you can move it to whichever one you want, and it's basically 3 pockets. We thought they were a little bit of a gimmick when we first got it, but actually they're perfect. We have earplugs in there, iPad in there, and baby wipes in there for the all important baby wipe shower. So it just means that it's in the tent at all times. So absolutely perfect. And I think you can buy more if you want more, but that's all we need. So why is this called a Black Series Max? So at the moment it's basically how the Black Series tent would be. Yes, I've got some extra canvas in here, but what makes it really cool and why we've got it is because I can lift up the back. How cool is that? So now I've got 6 windows on all 4 sides, so I've got airflow and light from all 4 sides if I want it, which means I can also sit here and Justin can sit there, and you can move around. You haven't got kind of a narrow edge. So that is why we bought this tent. We do actually use this tent in 3 different ways. So we use it like this when it's really hot and there's not much wind. If it's really bad weather and really wet and really windy, we'll often have this down and use it like a Black Series tent. And if it's really bad, then we actually don't put the rain fly up. We actually just keep that elasticated down with that elastic which I showed you before, which stops anything else from flapping. It also allows you to have a little bit of a crack in the window because there's an outside canvas and an inside canvas. So the versatility is really why we got this tent, and we didn't realise how we would use each of those options that often. But having gone around Australia, you go from 43-degree days to freezing cold days to it blowing a gale, and being able to have that choice has been amazing. It comes with these elastics which I just unattached from here, so when you're pulling it down it pulls all the canvas in. We just unclip them. You can put them away, but we just store them like this so we can actually hang our iPad off here, and it's the perfect viewing when you're in bed, which is ideal. We sleep with our head at that end. I think normally in the Black Series you put your head at this end, but because we're climbing in through the side, we didn't really want to put dirty feet or be clambering in and out over our pillows, so we sleep at that end. Even if we have it down, we find, apart from the handles which get a bit annoying, there's enough space for us to be down here, and actually if it's windy it's quieter and darker in that corner. Just going to consult my notes so I don't forget anything. So the zips on these, they all zip from the bottom up. There's pretty much two ways of doing it, bottom up or top down. Now the reason these are bottom up is you can have them half up with the rain fly, rain's not going to get in and you still get airflow. We like them this way around. It also allows you to have some privacy, because once they're half off it's really hard to see in. Same with the back ones. The back's actually angled, so if you even if it's raining you can have that back one a bit open and get some airflow. It's also really cool to be able to see the stars at night. They all come with these elastic clips, so you can roll them up out of the way. Which I think is a great concept, especially for the back ones. To be honest, we never really use it on the sides, we just scrunch it up out the way. But we understand why they're there. It's all midgie proof mesh, which is great, although it doesn't let as much air in, but there are plenty of midgies, so that's great. They also have these elastics. We never use them because we never have our midgie proof mesh open, because there's always bugs around, so we do find they get annoying, and the clip for the canvas on the door side gets really annoying because you're constantly opening that midgie proof bit to get out, and that just gets really annoying. We did on the old one, although we haven't on this one yet, just cut them off because we just kept running our zip into them and getting our zip caught. We never opened the midge on this side, so it's not an issue. It's just the size that you're getting in and out of that becomes an issue. So that's the clips. Canvas itself, it's a really good quality canvas. I'm not going to say the grams. You can look at the website, which we'll link below with all the specs. But it is rip proof. What's it called? Poly cotton rip stop. Is that the right? Yeah, so it's rip stop. It's also mold and mildew resistant. We think it's really thick, so actually if you have them up it is really dark in here, which is really good. It's not like the King's canvas where all of a sudden it's daylight and it's daylight on the inside too. They are really thick and it is really dark. Just consulting my list so I don't forget anything. Sometimes if it's wet, we pack it away and we haven't had any issues on the inside of the tent, but because we use it every day and open it up again, it always airs out. it is really airtight in here, so I would recommend, if you are packing it away wet, to open it up again, but I can't say what may or may not happen. Sorry, the camera's moving because Justin can't handle the flies. A point that I forgot to say earlier, the seals on the tent are great, which is why it's airtight. But we have been on so many outback roads. We're in the Pilbara at the moment and there is no red dust in here. The dust seal is absolutely amazing, so that's another plus. Moving on to the mattress. So it's a 75mm high density foam mattress. Really good. It is firm, so we do have a lot of dust. A foam topper, but it's really thin, and that's just to add a little bit of extra comfort. It's approximately the size of a double bed, and the way that this tent is built is there's a little airflow gap around the edges to stop condensation and allow the mattress to breathe. We have noticed that that does mean it can move a little bit and you can get a gap on one of the sides, but to fix that we have just put some cheap PVC pipe down each side so it still breathes but it can't move left to right. So a little tip if you're having that issue. But yeah, really comfy, especially when you add just a cheap foam topper, because it is a little bit firm, but that's great because you don't go through it. The other awesome thing, and one of the main kind of requirements for us in terms of setup time, is being able to leave all of our bedding and pillows in here. Now there's 120mm space between their mattress and the top, which allows you to leave things in here, so that's actually quite a big distance. So we leave our pillows, which is all 4 of them, our duvet or doona if you're Aussie, and our topper in here at all times, and have no issues closing it. We do pack the pillows down so that they're not right in the edge, but other than that we have no issues leaving that in here, which is another great thing. So I've just talked through all of that. Perfect. Pockets. So we talked through the storage at the top. It also comes with 2 pockets on either side. Great because we have our head at that end. It's great for you to just put your phone or your watch or whatever it is in. The Bush Company logo, which we'll show you in another clip, is stitched on the outside there, and up on our last tent in torrential rain we did notice some leaking in there for water pooling in the pockets, which isn't great if your iPhone or expensive electronics are in the pocket. But we just got some waterproof spray and then did some seasoning on the stitches, and that worked fine. We haven't had this one in torrential rain yet, but we've not had any issues so far. Last couple of things, so power and electronics. It does come with a orange and white light, which is powered. I might take this and show. No. So that's all wired up. They just have an Anderson plug already kind of hanging out at the bottom of the tent, so you just need to run power from your car up to that. It also comes with an Anderson plug, a spare one in the tent, so then you can run your own additional electronics. We have USB sockets on either side, so we can both charge our phones, iPad, etc. from up here. So that is power. The only other thing I would say, and it's probably a real minor thing, but we are quite light sleepers and we have had a lot of wind. Because of the amount of windows and the quality of the zips, if it is windy you do get quite a lot of rattling. So to fix that on the old one, and we're slowly doing it on this one, we put some duct tape, but now actually some heat shrink over the zips, which we'll show you in a second, so that it's not metal hanging on metal, and that has helped a lot. So that's probably it from inside the tent. I will just 100% confirm my list. We absolutely love, we always use the orange light. It's bright enough that you can use it. Every now and again when we turn on the white one by accident, we're a bit blinded by it, but it's light enough to, or it's a good enough light for the whole tent. And I think that's probably it. What I'll do now is I'll just show you how quick it is to pack away, and then we'll just run through some of our kind of key takeaways from the tent. So as I mentioned, we do have to just move the pillows a little bit to help with pack down, but not a huge amount because there is that 12 centimeters of gap. So we just attach these elastics to the other sides. Am I going to do the right one? Yeah. And that ensures that all the canvas is pulled in. You can do this with the windows open or closed. You don't need to change how that's done. And apologies for the angle you're probably going to get in a second. So it has these handles that you just pull down in on, grab any extra canvas. So when you're packing it away, one of the things we've learnt is always do the front clips first. Mine go a bit up. Otherwise, when you pull it down, the air pressure will push the top up. So you just go round and rebuckle the clips. And I'll meet you around the back. So I've just done the 2 front clips. I haven't done the side ones because they're up too tall. But as I said, if you don't do them, when you pull down the back, the front will just lift up because of the air it is trying to escape. But we essentially now just do the inverse of what we did to set up. As you can see, we really are in the Pilbara and there's dust everywhere, nothing in the tent there. So the first thing we do is take out the poles. This one does have a dog leg in because of the awning, which they did for us. They live inside the tent. Then I basically pull this down, use the elastic and push it in. We do find sometimes, and it might be because of our pillows that are in here, it takes quite a lot of chopping to get the end in. Hopefully I'll be able to do it without any assistance from Justin. So I've got it comes to this strap, so you just put some weight on that. Use the handles, fold in the canvas. Pull down the elastic. We do find this elastic's quite loose, it could be a bit tighter. And then hopefully check the sides, make sure it's all in, and slowly come down. Zip is slightly out on this side, but hopefully it will close. And then do the clips. Something is making holes. You then go around and do the side clips and put your ladder away, and you're basically done. So to conclude, I don't want to take up much more of your time, but as you can see, it's an extremely quick tent, and that is why we got it. The other main benefit to this tent compared to all the other tents that we've seen on the market is the versatility. You can have it completely up and let all the airflow in for those boiling hot days in the outback. You can have it completely locked down for the really windy days of the southwest coast. Or you can have it in between. It's heavy, it is quite expensive. I think it's about 5.2k, I think. It does come with a 2 or 3 year warranty. You have to check the specs, but we'll, as I say, put the link down below. Would I buy it again? Yes, because of the big lap, because we have to put this up every day and we have completely different weather depending on where we go. I would buy this again every day. Would I put it on a wagon? It is very heavy. It's probably better off on a ute, and we do intend to put it on a ute But that combined with the Bush Company awning has made our big lap so much easier and so much more comfortable. As we said, this is our third tent. We did have some issues with cracking, but the guys at Bush Company were so amazing, and they have done it all through warranty. They shipped it to wherever we have been on our big lap and sorted out install. And that is one of the benefits with going with a smaller company. Dean runs it, he designed the tents himself, he uses them, he tries them out, they're constantly changing and updating their products based on feedback. This might sound like someone that's sponsored by Bush Company. I'm not. Yes, it's heavy and there are things that annoy us, but overall we really like it. So check them out on the link below if you're interested. If you have any questions, or we might have missed anything, or you want us to clarify anything, then let us know in the comments below and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks guys, see you next time.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Do you like my new t-shirt with our logo that's now covered in pilbara dust? Thank you very much, the pilbara.